Hello out there. Welcome to Virtual Frazier. My name is Brian West, and I am one of the teaching artists at the Frazier, Kentucky History Museum. Today, we're going to do another segment about history around us. And for this video, we'll be talking about an historical landmark called Louisville Cemetery. It's a place where many African Americans who lived in Louisville were able to find places to bury their loved ones. It also happens to be, believe it or not, right next door to where I live, where we're filming now. So I'm going to show you some famous grave sites of note momentarily. But before we begin, I have to make special precautions to be ready to go outside. So I'll be wearing my baseball cap, a pair of gloves, and to go along with CDC guidelines, I'll be wrapping this bandana around my face to make a makeshift mask. Once I get all that ready, we'll get going. In the meantime, hang tight, and I'll be right back.
Before I share those famous grave sites with you, I want to share a little family history with you guys out there. We're at Louisville Cemetery now, and this happens to be the place where my uncle, Harry PUD Trent, is buried. He was the second oldest of 9 children that were born to Lee Trent and Thelma Trent. He happened to be the oldest of 7 children who lived to adulthood. And I think he was the oldest boy in the family who lived to adulthood. Liked Louisville basketball, liked cigar and pipe smoke. And I think he also, if my family is correct, liked collecting comic books back in the day. So maybe that's where I got my love of comic books from, my Uncle PUD. God bless you, Uncle PUD. Rest in peace.
Okay, walking away from the grave site of my Uncle PUD, going up the hill here, and we'll be towards the second grave site of note in a jiffy. So this is a grave marker for Sylvester Weaver. You see 2 markers. The first one down near the ground there was created through the donations and charity of the Kentuckiana Blues Society and their members. And that was put in 1992. Before that time, Weaver was buried here without a marker. Now the one you see above that is a new marker that was installed through the generous efforts of the Kentuckiana Blues Society again, and the Jug Band Jubilee Waterfront Festival, their members, in 2015. Now Sylvester Weaver spent much of his life in the Smoketown neighborhood in Louisville. And though he worked many blue-collar jobs, his abilities as a musician carried him to some remarkable achievements. Still, he died relatively unknown, and his story is not as well known as many of his contemporaries. Perhaps most notable about Sylvester Weaver is that he is the first person known to be recorded playing slide guitar. This technique, which is very common in the blues and other styles of music, differed from traditional guitar playing in that instead of the fingers pressing the strings to the fretboard, a heavy metal or glass object is moved along the strings, creating a very vocal-like sound. Weaver's song, Guitar Rag, was probably his most famous, and later became a hit for Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys as Steel Guitar Rag. His first recordings were made in 1927 with Sara and are believed to be the first blues duo recordings ever made.
So this is Sara Martin's marker. She, like Sylvester Weaver, was buried in an unmarked grave. This headstone, by the way, was bought through the generosity of the Kentuckiana Blues Society as well. She made a career on the vaudeville circuit and became a big star of her day. Along with Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith, Sara Martin is regarded as one of the classic early blues singers. In
In addition to Sylvester, she toured or recorded with King Oliver, Clarence Williams, and the incredible Fats Waller. In fact, she may have been the first person to record the blues standard "Tain't Nobody's Business If I Do." The record featured Waller on the piano. When she signed with OK Records, a race label that released music not just by African Americans, but also traditional music from European immigrants, they released 27 recordings featuring her in the first year. That's a large amount of music, and nearly no other artist in their catalog had more to their name. Sylvester retired long before Sara, effectively hanging up his guitar in 1930. He was a chauffeur for most of his remaining years. Sara toured nationally and internationally, and even landed a role in an early motion picture. But by the mid-30s, she too returned home to Louisville, where she ran a nursing home. She passed away in 1955, Sylvester in 1960.
On behalf of the staff and crew of the Fraser Kentucky History Museum, I want to thank you all for watching this video of Louisville Cemetery. I want to give a special thanks to the attendants of Louisville Cemetery for helping me find the marker for my Uncle PUD. I also want to give a special thanks to my colleague at the Fraser, Nick Sullivan, for making all of this possible. Until we see each other face to face, stay safe, try to stay at home, stay healthy at home, and until next time, I'll see you soon through Virtual Fraser. You guys take care.